What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing well. Hey guys, it's been a while since I've actually uploaded on this channel. When I put in my last community post, yes, we were busy and we were short-staffed, so I had to pick up a lot of the slack from the guys that were not here no longer. So it was hard for me to actually make content that was actually usable to making a video. I mean, I was constantly on and off cars, being pulled off, being pulled away for different things, answering the phone and things like that. So it was kind of hard. We actually have a few new guys here, so it's kind of mellowed out. We're still busy on the work, but as far as me being pulled off things, I've kind of monitored it. I've kind of mellowed out, so I can actually get into a car, make content, explain what's going on with the car, explain what I'm doing, what needs to be done, and I can actually go back to making content, guys. On top of that, guys, I do have a secondary channel where I do gaming content. If you guys are interested in any type of video games, I play a bunch of different games. I don't stick with just one game like you see a lot of the content creators do. I play a wide variety of games, guys. And if you're interested, I'll leave the link in the description to that particular channel. I do encourage you guys to go check it out and subscribe to that channel. It will help that channel out as well. With this particular video, guys, we're going to be looking at a 2019 Ford Fusion 2.0 EcoBoost engine. The complaint is a rough idle. Now, on the 2.0 EcoBoost engines, this is a rental car. And I've had 6 other of these cars here that have the same similar problems, whether it be white smoke out the tailpipe, loss of coolant, rough running in the morning, or rough running at all times. A lot of them, actually, I'll take it back. All of them ended up being a blown head gasket. All of them, we did a head job, and they all left and were perfectly fine, with the exception of one of them, which had corrosion on the block side of it, around where the head gasket would seal. That one did come back with a slow loss of coolant. Stuck a bore scope in there, saw a little bit of dripping still. So what I went ahead and did is put some Blue Devil, because they don't want to repair it. They don't want to take the head off again. They don't want to have the downtime. They're just going to put the car at auction. So we used some Blue Devil in there, took the thermostat out, put some Blue Devil in there, let it run for about half hour. Basically until it warmed up and was able to cycle through. And I put the thermostat back, kept the car for a couple days, kept monitoring it. It did not lose any coolant. I kept sticking the bore scope in there after driving it, letting it cool off, and I didn't see no leakage in that one cylinder, so that one was fine. I don't recommend Blue Devil or any kind of head gasket repair, but if you're in a pinch, guys, and either A, you can't afford the repair and you just need to get around with the car, I mean, you can give it a shot. You just have to follow the instructions on the bottle, to the T. Don't skip anything. If it says remove the coolant and put only water, and remove the thermostat and put it back together, then do it. It's going to give that particular repair its best chance to actually seal the head. This particular one, guys, we went ahead and already pre-scanned it. On this scan tool, I'm not showing any specific misfire as far as any cylinders. So cylinders 1 through 4, there's nothing. I'm going to look at the live data right now. I'm going to see if we have any misfire monitors. Also, when you rev it up, you feel it kind of rumble a little bit, and you feel it kind of shake as it's coming back down, and then it kind of mellows back out at idle. When I first turned the car on, it was a lot harsher at idle. So that can actually lead to 2 different things. Actually, it can be 2 things at one time. It could be a failed motor mount. I'm not seeing any misfire data on the live data, which kind of sucks with Ford, as they don't put any specific misfire data like cylinder 1 through 4 or 1 through 8. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to get out of this car. I'm going to go to generic, and I'll flip the scan tool over and what I mean by generic. Again, the scan tool will be linked in the description, or at least one compared to this one, because it might not be available. So this is what we're looking at. Actually, you can't see it because of the freaking sun glare. So let's go ahead and do this, guys. Let's flip the screen around so I can actually see. All right, so this is the one for where we at? Each particular car. We have each make and model. We were in Ford first. So we're going to go to Universal, which is just a generic OBD. And what we're going to look at is a specific monitor to see if it's picked up any specific cylinder that's misfiring. Now, the fact that we don't have a check engine light, this may not work. So we're going to go to onboard monitor. onboard monitor. It's gonna load. Come on, if it does load. And guys, I miss making repair content. It's fun. It does have its issues, but it's fun overall. So misfire 4, we have 0. 3, we have 0, 0. 2, 0, 0. And 1, 0, 0. Alright, so I'm not showing anything on there. Let me turn around and bring you guys back. Okay, so even though the scan tool is not giving me anything, we don't know what cylinder is misfiring, there are steps we could take to try and see. If we go under the hood and we notice the engine is running rough, what we can go ahead and do is we can start pulling off coils, unplugging coils and plugging it back in. If the particular coil is working, it should make a change in how the car is idling. If the coil is not working, or if that cylinder is dead, or if the injector is not working, you're not going to really see anything. It should still have the same misfire. So at least we'll know what specific cylinder has a problem. Now we can go ahead and check compression. We can go ahead and see if we're dumping fuel. We can go ahead and see by swapping coils to see if the coil is working. There's things that we can check. We can check a spark plug. Maybe the spark plug is cracked. Maybe the spark plug is corroded, collapsed. Who knows? So let's go ahead and get the toolbox over here so I can get you guys resituated, and we'll take a peek at stuff under the hood. Alright guys, so here we already have all the locks undone. So I'm going to go ahead and fire it up, and I'm going to one by one pull it off and plug it in and see what happens. It actually sounded weird, huh? Who left the wiper blades on? I sure as heck didn't. Is that really a sensor that does that? I guess so, huh? Oh, okay then. I was trying to keep that glare off you guys, but okay, whatever. Apparently there's a sensor on the windshield that does that. So you see how it's running a little rough? We're gonna go ahead and take one off. See how it runs like crap. Put that one back on. Take this one off. Runs worse. Runs worse. Take the last one off. Alright. I think this one did less though, huh? They all seem to be the same. So what I'm going to go ahead and do next is, the coolant level is a little bit low. And it does seem like this motor mount is moving a little bit of excess compared to normal. I'm going to go ahead and pull off these 3. Actually, I'll pull off the air boot, the air pipe, and then we'll pull off all 4 plugs. We'll stick a camera down there and we'll take a peek and see if there's moisture. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get the air intake pipe off first. So I got a flat head right here. It's a worm gear clamp. Okay, we're gonna have a 13 millimeter right here. You can just go ahead and place this up here for now. We're gonna get some pliers and we're gonna pull that hose off. It's right here. So you get this portion of it pulled back, break it off the pipe. Let's not break the pipe itself. Sometimes it can be a pain in the ass to get off, but there you go. And then we're going to have to take these 2 off. Well, at least there's one. Not both of them. So we'll get the worm gear clamp off here first. They don't have to come off completely. All you need to do is just get it out of your way so you can get to the coils. That's it. Okay, we lift that up. We'll push this back. And then we're going to take this white one off. Just one. The yellow one can actually stay put. We'll take this clip off right here. Then we're going to take this, we're going to flip it around like that and put it off to the side because this thing will pivot. Just like that. Then what we'll do is we'll get an 8 mil. Come on this side. We're going to unplug each coil yet again. If I can get them off. There's one. I'll take that clip off right here. Slide that one off. I'll slide this one off. Okay, perfect. Pull that off. Okay, let's get these retainings off. 1, 2, got 4 of these. 3 and 4. Get your coils off. Line them up to where they were at so you know where to put them back. I mean, it doesn't really matter unless you know if one's bad, then you want to mark them. Next, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to get the spark plugs out. Let's figure out what size we got first. It's going to be this one. And I was right. So what we're going to do is we're going to break them free first. So we don't damage the threads on the head. 1, 2, that's 3, and 1 more. Okay, now I can actually take them out a little bit faster. Just be careful when you're using this tool. And you do want to inspect them just to see if you see anything out of the ordinary. Okay, that one's kind of hot actually. Alright, the plugs so far are looking okay. Yeah, they look fine. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to put the pressure on the system. We're going to pump it up to about 22 psi. The cap says 21. So we're going to put it up to 22. And I will link this tool in the description. You can get this from Amazon. It's not that expensive. So we're at 21. There is 22. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get out the bore scope. I'll link this in the description too. We got this off of Amazon. It's actually a really cool tool. I like it. And it's pretty cheap too. Okay, get off my mic. So let's get this set up. And we want to see if there's any moisture in there at all. Alright, if I see anything, I will take a snapshot and I will show you guys, but I'm just taking a peek for my own curiosity. Alright, alright, one thing I see in here, I'm going to screenshot that. Oh, that's recording, huh? Okay, I don't want to record. I want to take a screenshot. How do I do that? Don't tell me I forgot how to use this damn thing. I think it's just tap. Yeah, there we go. Okay, there's that one. Let's look inside this one. I see some rust in there as well. I see a little bit of rust in there as well. Cylinder 4. Also a little bit of rust. Now what I want to do is I want to switch the camera and look at the sidewalls. Alright, so this one doesn't look... I don't see anything on this one. I see some scoring, but that's not what we're here for. Alright, that should be a full 360. Okay, nothing on there. Next one. Yeah, what this camera has is it has the ability to look straight down, and then you can actually flip the camera 90 degrees and you can see the sidewall. Or in my case, I'm looking at the... Ooh, the valves are open on this one. Oh, those valves are leaking nasty oil. There, we got some valve stem seal problem on this one. But when I'm looking at on this one, okay, see that looks... I'm gonna take a picture of that because that looks off. And that looks off too. But I don't see no moisture as far as coolant goes. Let's look at the last two. If I can get in there. Okay. Valves are closed on this one. It's perfect. Yeah, see, I wonder what that is. That too. Nothing in terms of coolant though. And since it's holding, since it's at pressure, if it is leaking, then we should see it. We're looking at the quality of the head gasket. You can actually see the head gasket right where I'm looking. I'll show you what I'm looking at right now. All right, I don't see anything that stick out to me. So let's go back and let's see how we look at the pictures. There we go. Okay. That is how. All right, I'm gonna go back in the car, and I'm gonna show you what I saw. All right, guys. So I know it's gonna be hard to see, but look at some of this carbon right here. It's like oil. Look at that right there. See how it's been leaking down into the cylinder? Look at all that. Right there. Some right here. See the rust around the piston? I didn't mean to take a video, but that's what it looks like. Alright, come on, come on. So you got some rust around the piston right there. That's what I see so far. Next thing I'm going to go and do is I'm going to let the pressure sit and then go back in there with the scope and see if I see anything. Alright guys, so the car has been sitting while I was at lunch, and so far it went from 22 and we're sitting at about 16 3/4. So it dropped quite a bit. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to grab the borescope again. We're just going to take a peek inside, and while I'm doing that, I want to explain to you guys on these particular engines, and it is on select cars. It's on both Fords and Lincolns, but they're all reliant on that 2.0 EcoBoost engine. What the heck happened there? What happened to the camera? Hold on. No. I think homeboy smashed his camera. It was just working. Ugh. Okay, well, I guess I shouldn't let anybody else use this, huh? That's good. You guys just see me use this and it was working fine. Now the head's all smashed up. I gotta check that out once everybody gets back from lunch. So let's try and do it manually then. I don't see anything entering in the cylinder. Okay, so there is a TSP for these engines for loss of water. Check engine light, maybe, and running rust. Now, there could be a check engine light, there could not be a check engine light. It could have white smoke out the tailpipe, it could not. And that really depends on how large the leak is. But essentially what's going on is the coolant is entering in the cylinders. Cylinder or cylinders. It could be one, it could be multiple. So basically what they have on the TSB is they're... Let me get you guys up a little bit. Hold on. Alright, there you go. So basically what they're doing is they're replacing the whole engine assembly, long block assembly. Obviously all the accessories like the intake manifold, exhaust manifold, tensioners, everything move over. But they end up replacing the whole part. Or they piece together everything and build the engine in-house. But that's basically the repair. So by us doing the head job, like I said, a handful of them already went out, no problem. With the exception of one. And in those particular TSBs, it doesn't mention what the actual problem is. Whether it be the cylinder head or the block. It just basically says inspect the mating surfaces for any corrosion or anything like that. Obviously, once you pull them off, you have to use a machinist's straight edge to see if there's any warpage going on. We don't have one, so we never really check the blocks. And we send the heads out to the machine shop, so they check them there. So in this particular one, based on what's going on, the fact that the coolant level is low, not by very much. And like I said, it could have been topped off at the rental company before it came here, or even by the customer. Maybe the customer got a low coolant light and they topped it off for themselves. It's possible. Based on how the car is running, the fact that you have no check engine light for any specific misfire, the fact that I have that black stuff coming around the head / block where the sealing surface would be, the fact that the piston crowns are like almost completely clean, a good indicator that the pistons are being washed out by coolant over time. So unfortunately on this one we're going to be looking at a head gasket, or if they want to replace the engine based on the TSB, that's a possibility too. But knowing this company, they're going to just do the head gasket, deck the head, and hope for the best. If it continues to leak after that, then obviously we're going to probably run Blue Devil in it based on the mileage of this. So yeah, if you're having an issue with your 2.0 Ford or even Lincoln, just know if you have a check engine light for any particular cylinder misfire that is happening at the time, and you're losing coolant, don't even worry about changing coils, plugs, injectors, anything like that. You have a problem with the head gasket, no doubt. So we're going to go ahead and recommend that be done on this one, and we're going to move on to the next car.